So what can help carpet cleaners survive during this COVID-19 pandemic? So 3 questions I'm going to cover. What can we all do to survive until the end of the lockdown? Number 2, what can we do now to prepare for when the lockdown ends? And I'll cover 4 strategies. And thirdly, what can we do now to make sure that we are not as badly affected should a similar thing happen in the future? So the first question was, how can we survive until the end of the lockdown? Well, most cleaners are on total lockdown, unable to go out and clean carpets. So the simple answer is take the government help that will enable you to survive. There are exclusions, but many will be able to take advantage of that. And of course, some businesses are still very busy. Maybe we could go to work temporarily for them. Supermarkets, for example, if we have no cash put aside. That's something I did in the 80s when I had a van off the road. I went to work on the dust carts emptying the rubbish for a very short time. Do whatever it takes to feed your family. Number 2 was, what can you do now to prepare for when the lockdown ends? And the simple answer is use the time that we all have now. Most carpet cleaners are poorly educated about business matters, particularly marketing, which is finding and keeping good customers. So use the time to educate ourselves now. And there's a list of recommended books that I recommend on my Facebook page, which is facebook.com/carpetcleanerscoach. And recognise that you're not a cleaner, you are primarily a marketer in your business. So with that in mind, here's 4 practical strategies. Number 1, it's important to maintain good relationship with your customers. So can you perhaps email them, perhaps just asking how they are, or mail to them a newsletter if you're able, perhaps dealing with practical tips that they can use, maybe giving them correct information about, all this cleaning and disinfecting, as opposed to all the outlandish claims that some cleaners are currently making. Can you prepare to target groups not affected financially by this pandemic and will have money after the lockdown ends? One such group are pensioners. They've not working, so they've not been furloughed, they've not been laid off. Why not contact your older customers after all this ends, or prepare to, and maybe deliver flyers to an area where an older population lives if you don't have a list of them. Remember, they still have the money. Thirdly, you could offer cleaning bonds to your customers to have cleaning later in the year. The idea is they pay you now, but redeem them later. It's something we did in 2011 when we needed some cash for a tax bill. We offered a cleaning bond to our customers worth 50% more than what they paid. And I was very surprised when they sent us money. Quite a lot, actually. So that may help with cash flow problems now. And fourthly, all this requires that you have a record of your customers. So if you've not got one, get your customers into a database, either a list in Excel or one of the many custom-made ones for our industry, because a customer list is where most of the profit in our companies will be. So the third question was, what can we do now to protect our businesses, to make sure that we are not badly affected should a similar thing happen in the future? So here's 5 strategies. Number 1, if you've got a cash flow problem at the moment, don't let it happen again. Store enough cash for 6 months at least of expenses. Number 2, set up maintenance programs. We've got a number of them and they are still paying us right now, even though we're not able to clean for them. So we have very good cash flow. Number 3, sort your pricing out. Business is all about margins and profit. If you're not charging enough, you'll not be able to put cash aside to protect your business for any future event. Number 4, sort your target market out. Only work for people with money who can pay you higher prices, preferably premium prices. And number 5, similar to keeping a database, collect emails for anyone that you work with, so that if you have a future disaster like we have now, we can at least keep in contact with our customers very cheaply. So I think the future is good for us as carpet cleaners, principally because we're not able to be digitized or Amazoned and sold in that way. And the situation, of course, means there's going to be less competitors and carpets will be dirtier because people are housebound. And remember, there is still money about. It hasn't gone anywhere. and hopefully we can all be there at the end of this to collect some of it. And a little expression I heard the other day: the only economy that matters is your own.